broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome everybody! Dancing with the Stars, week 4. Kristen Vert is out this week. I'm Suri Serano, and so excited to have special guest Sasha Farber in the house. But first, let me introduce you.
Hi, I'm Jake DuPree.
Hi guys, I'm Diva Dog.
Yes, Darvina in the house. And to your left, Mr. Sasha Farber. We're so happy you could make it.
Thanks for having me.
You almost didn't make it.
I know, it was very close.
Kristen and I tell people every week, is they're like, get so and so on and get Sasha on, and you guys, your rehearsal schedule is crazy. And literally, guys, in about 45 minutes ago, Sasha called me. He's like, I'm not gonna make it. After just telling me you can make it, and I'm like, I get it. You have rehearsal, but you're here.
I know, and I even beat you.
You did. I know. You beat me to the studio. I came from a little bit farther, but yes, that's true. I was the late bird today.
You're good.
We just have, before we even get into the show, we have to talk about all your crazy costume changes and and wearing Bruno's outfit. I mean, you're just such a gamer.
Awesome.
That is probably the best part of the show. You get to play all these different characters, and last night playing Bruno was amazing. It was a lot of fun, and it was all last minute, so I had no idea. And then they just said, get into this outfit and do your thing, and I was like, yes.
So they just yes. So they just hand you things like, Sash, put this on, because they just know you'll just do it.
That one was a last minute thing.
It was.
It definitely was.
I love it.
Been any that you're like, no, guys, that's too far. I'm not going to do it.
The crab. Maybe the crab.
No, I feel like the crab. It started off as like, oh, the crab. And then I was like, wait, do you get to see my face? They're like, no. I was like, great. Okay, so no one's going to know it's me. And then it turned into like, everyone knew somehow. And then it was just like, be the crab, be the crab.
You can't live it down now.
I know, 22 years of dance training, and look at this, being a crab paid off. You made it.
But everybody loves it because you're so willing to do anything. Whereas some people, we all know that are like, I don't want to do all those outfits. That's like the worst.
Well, it's all about being a team player.
Yeah. And are we going to see the crab this season?
I was going to bring it here, but because of the schedule and like last minute,
yeah.
I didn't have time to go
Oh my
home.
God, please bring it next time. That's awesome. Okay, well, let's jump in to the most memorable year, obviously. Tearjerker episode every season.
Yeah, this is for sure crying with the stars this week.
Yeah,
right?
It was a lot.
Some of them. Some of it was okay. And I held it together, and then some of it was downhill. Yeah. Okay, first up was Alexa and Mark, and her most memorable year was 2000 when she got Spy Kids, and they did the Foxtrot. Darvina, you were in studio. Mm-hmm. What did you think?
I loved the concept of this one with the troupe. You guys, really added a nice element to it. I loved the umbrellas. It really kind of made it a full-on production. I wasn't just like watching, two people, do their routine. So I loved that aspect of it. It was just a shame that she had one of those, blips where you just forget what happens, and it happens to the best of us. And it happened to her, and Mark got her through it, which was, obviously what he was going to do. But it was a little bit of a shame, Yeah. But I thought it was a great routine.
Jake?
I was really disappointed. I just expected, I guess we're expecting a lot from her just because of the past 2 weeks. She's really shown that she's growing and everything. But this week was rough. I don't know if it was the package that made her throw her off a little bit, but for some reason she didn't see connected to Mark and her. It seemed like she never could catch up to him the entire dance. I feel like she was chasing him the whole dance.
Yeah. Sasha, did you see it?
I was in it.
Oh, you were in it. Duh.
Look, the number was great. The concept was great. I mean, even watching it from the TV, like, I don't know if you saw, like, there was rain. You could see, it was
Loved
raining.
it. The production of
Super
it.
cinematic.
The dance was great. You know, there was a bit of a little, like, mix-up thing where they happened between those two. But that's what dancing is. And, you know, if she was great every week, it'd be boring. You need to have that, you know, the lows and highs. That's what Dancing with the Stars is. So I think now that's going to make her a stronger dancer for next week. So when she's learning, you know, whoever she's with for the switch up, she's going to be focused and ready to go.
Yeah.
It won't happen again.
Yeah. How do you think she's going to handle being with a different partner?
I think it will be a good thing.
Yeah,
actually.
It's interesting. It's like starting from scratch again, and that excitement's there, and I think it's a great concept for the show. And we'll just, you know, it could go both ways, actually.
Yeah.
You never know who she's dancing with.
I think it'll be good for her because she'll have to, like, just, like, be in the moment with that person and just, like, continue to learn different ways. So it's cool, I think.
Yeah, different teachers make you, you know, force you to grow in different ways.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have different ways of putting things.
Yeah.
So she got a 21 for that. I'll just say this, that I love Mark's work and the whole production of it. But I agree with you,
but
Jake.
I don't understand how she gets all 7s though. Like some of these other people that are getting like
know.
8s and 9s. I
She's
was
the
like,
lowest on the leaderboard.
I know.
Did you see-
That's ridiculous.
Did you
No.
see that amazing guy that walked past and pushed her on the floor and tripped her?
No. What?
That was me.
You did? Oh my God, that's
And you know
hilarious.
what? Even though, like, every time we did it at rehearsals, I felt so bad. And, like, obviously it was part of the thing where she would walk in and she misses the train and someone spills coffee on her and she's always, like, she's always having bad luck. And my role in the number was to walk past and trip her. And I felt, and she would always, like, have this big dramatic fall. And you would have to look and, I was like, was that real or fake? I don't know. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. That's really funny.
Yeah.
I love learning things like that. Yeah, well, we'll get to the scores, but there was a lot of 9s thrown around that I don't think necessarily needed to be thrown around, but that's me. I mean, I know everybody's got their opinion
Perhaps
about it,
it was
but
the emotions
I
that
think
got the
she
best
at
of
least
him.
deserved all 8s. Like that was not all 7s.
Yeah, that was really, I think the first ones out of the gate, you
That
know,
was probably
always get it a
probably
little
why.
rough.
Yeah.
And then it's like they start to get a bit nicer as the night goes on, and then the numbers go up, and the ones at the beginning end up getting a bit, you know, left out.
Yep.
So
I'm with you on that. All right, well, the next up was our own Anna Trebunskaya with Gary Busey doing, what'd they do, jazz? 1970, I know, that's right, I didn't write it down, it was the only one I was like, what are they doing? 1979 was his year. He became an Oscar nominee. Did he win that Oscar that year?
no.
Okay. Well. I just said that I wrote my notes that he's so cute and made me so happy watching him and smiling ear to ear, and I did not want him to go home.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that he went home, but I'm going to miss him just because he is amazing for live television. Like, all of his interviews are genius. Like,
I've never seen
brilliant.
Erin Andrews' face better.
No, I
than
mean,
when
she
she's
doesn't have to do
interviewing
anything.
him.
She just, like, sits back and lets him just
Lets
talk.
him run the show.
But this dance, I was so bummed because last week I thought that he was, like, really in it. And the week before, too, I thought he was, like, getting better. And this one, he just, like, I feel like he just, like, blanked for some reason. I was sad because I wanted him to go out, like, on a, like, super high note.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But according to him, he's still there.
Yeah.
He's still there,
He's
which I
never
love.
leaving.
Yeah.
He'll be hosting next time.
Right? No, they were a great couple. I think it was the right time. I think that Anna done as much as she could with Gary, and it was great entertainment.
Oh, so
Love
good.
the interviews at the end when he told Alfonso, no, stop.
No.
I haven't finished talking yet. I was like, you are amazing. Thank you so much for just like being crazy and out there. So yeah, I loved seeing him, but realistically, I don't think we were going to get any more growth out of his dance ability.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Sasha.
What did you think?
Well, let's just say that Anna did a great job, first of all. She deserves a medal. I think. Gary is a character, and I mean, that's why everyone loves him, because he's a character. Like, even in, like, camera blocking, there was, because we were in that number 2, tick.
Yeah.
There was another couple sitting there, and he's like, what are you doing? Because the girl had her leg up, and he's like, what are you doing? And they're like, just, like, sitting. He's like, don't do that in my number. Don't do that in my number. We don't want any bad habits. Let's just always be in the character. Always be in the character. And we're like, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Oh my God.
He was great. He was great. The number was great. And yeah, he did lose it a bit during the dance, but I think that's his, in a weird way, that's his character. Because when he like throws his hands up in the air and does the face and goes, "Hey!" Like that's what he does. And he definitely did that. He even sang during the dance.
He did?
So he did.
Oh.
I didn't know.
Got into it.
Really?
He really got into it. That's what, that's one thing that I think
it.
like Gary has above some of the other people, because he really like gets into the characters of every dance.
Which I love. I mean, just everything about him. I
Yeah.
agree with all of your comments for sure. I mean, I just was hoping he'd be around for a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna miss him. We're gonna miss Anna too. She did great.
I know, and she will be joining us sometime in the next couple weeks, guys. We did talk earlier, so we have that to look forward to. They got a 16. Were we happy, satisfied with that score?
I think it's fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anna's face said it all, though. When she was getting the scores, I love her. Her face. All right, next up, Tamar and Val. 2012 was her year. They were doing Roomba. I'm going to go to you guys first before I give you my thoughts on that dance. Who wants to go?
I'll go. I loved it. I thought it was a really great classic rumba. I love the fact that her husband was there playing the piano
That was awesome.
for them.
Yeah.
It really kind of brought it full circle, because obviously being about him, yet she's dancing with her partner. It was still like, it was so cohesive as the whole thing, I loved it. I thought the camera angles on that spin that she did were lovely. I really love watching their journey, and I do feel as though their connection is improving week after week. And you saw that Val was like actually making an effort to do that and to address it, which I think is their main challenge in the competition. So just love watching them.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it too. I thought this week, their scores should have matched it even last week too. This high of marking, like I just thought that she's truly mastered the technique. You can see like she still needs to like relax her shoulders a little bit, and some of her focus in terms of being with him needs to work on a little bit. But I feel like she's growing so much, and I just like watching her. I just think she's a fantastic dancer. I think she's so good.
Natural.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of their connection? And what do you see in studio and behind the scenes?
It's definitely like it's a great connection in the story that they have. Val always likes to be in charge, and she likes to be in charge. So it's a great mix, and to watch. And I think less is more, and that's they did a classical perfect rumba, which looked great. She had really good hip action. Her feet, the way she uses her feet was amazing. And they told a good story, and it was amazing to see that her husband was playing the actual music.
Yeah.
Her story, that story was heartbreaking, but
And I'm happy that
amazing.
she talked about that too, because it kind of humanized her. Because I think some of the fans,
Yes.
like I've seen on some of our comments, been like, she's like, they don't really get her
having
or something.
a hard time connecting.
Yeah, and I was like, this was a good week for her. Really, really good week.
For sure. Yeah,
But
I
what
agree.
are your thoughts though?
Stop. I'm going to leave it on a positive note and just say that.
Like
You have to tell us what you thought.
Okay, I've struggled with her just because
Yeah.
of the connection and whatnot. I don't have anything. I love her improvement. How's that? I love the improvement that
Good enough,
she's made.
good enough.
You gotta
That's-
give us something.
That's positive. No, because I said last week that I just didn't feel her. Like I felt
So you
like she
feel-
was
are
like a
you feeling
deer
what
in
do you mean you
headlights a
Feel
bit.
her.
Elaborate.
Leave it to Sasha.
I just didn't feel her.
I wasn't feeling it.
I didn't feel her. Oh God!
got a hot
Oh, you
vibe,
guys
so.
laughing at home. Thanks, Sasha, for that.
You're welcome.
I didn't like
Feel
in
her.
her eyes feel that connection last
Really?
week.
Oh, but
Yeah.
this week you did, right?
Better. I'm glad that it showed in the package Val saying we need to work on this because he knows it. That's where I was coming from. So I really did see her improvement though this week, and overall when you package everything together and her story, I mean I couldn't help but like it.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't say she's my favorite.
And that's
Is that fair?
okay.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's okay.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm sure
Alright.
other people feel that same way too.
Yeah, I'm sure. So they got
Who's
a
your favorite
27. I have a few. I have a couple. Should I wait till we get to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Hayes and Emma doing a contemporary, and his year was 2014 when he blew up, right, on Vine. Jake, you're a contemporary guy.
I absolutely love this. I was freaking out the entire time watching this. Like, this was so cool. I loved the use of the camera, like with the lights, the little light post. That was awesome. But his musicality and the connection between the two of them is priceless. Like these two, I mean, they're honestly like a good team to watch out for because they are coming for like the #1 spot, seriously. And they were in the #1 spot last night along with a few other people. But there's something about him that I just think is so endearing, and you want to root for him. Like he's just like, he seems like my little brother or something. Like I think that's so cool. And to be so young and putting out that kind of dance is beyond. Like,
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I mean the charisma that oozes off of him, Jesus. I mean, it's crazy.
And then seeing Emma cry when they're getting judged up, it's like, this is so cool. Like, this isn't a good moment.
It's such a great relationship, I feel. And just the quality of the movement as well. Like, that, you know, he's really finishing all of his lines. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, one here, one there. Like, every move that he did was literally, you know, to the end.
Yeah.
And the lifts, too. The way he put Emma down, it wasn't just like up and then boom. It was with such grace. And like it just continued, everything flowed. This was my one of my favorite dances. It was really amazing. I loved it. Really good.
Sasha Farber.
Really well, no, I thought he did an amazing job. I think from this week on, I can look at him and say, wow, he's a dancer. And he's never had any dance experience ever.
That's crazy.
And it's week 4 coming up to week 5. And that dance, pretty much like the whole audience pretty much wanted to stand up and clap and scream for him. And Emma did great with the choreography, loved it. He finished all his lines, like you were talking about. But, he's one of those kids that just, you tell him something and it takes him, he's not the quickest.
Yeah.
And you can tell that he's really working hard. He really wants that mirror ball. And like after last night, I thought, wow, this is like that turning curve.
That is.
Yeah.
And now it's all the way up, hopefully.
That's awesome.
I see him in the final.
I do.
I really do.
Yeah.
And he's the nicest kid.
Yeah.
Like the nicest.
That's always awesome.
Always knows everyone's name, always saying hi, always just being
just
there.
Appreciative too. You can tell that from the camera.
He's enjoying
he's a great
the
kid.
experience.
Yeah.
Great
That's awesome. His mom looks like 12.
I know.
I mean, my
She's
goodness. And I mean that in a
beautiful
good
as
way.
well.
Like,
Bless
she's
her.
gorgeous and she looks so young.
So young, yeah.
I love it. Well, for me, it's always really, really good when I don't watch the pro and I can't take my eyes off the celeb. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing.
I'm out.
I've offended
That's not what I
Sasha.
got into this business for, Sasha says.
So, you know what I mean by that. So there's some numbers where you're like, I can't stop watching Whitney. Okay,
We'll get
27. We will get to that. They got a 27. Deserved.
Yeah,
Deserved.
Yes.
let's
Definitely.
say so.
Moving on now to Alec and Lindsay doing the Paso Doble, and obviously 2015 was his year. Quite a week for this guy. I mean, with Oregon and with what this theme was, just everything.
Dealing with 2 really heavy subjects.
Yeah, very heavy. And our hearts and prayers go out to those up in Oregon and everybody affected by them. By that. Who wants to take this one first?
I mean, I'll start off. I will say his connection with her was not my favorite, but that doesn't take away from his movement quality. I think that the choreography that she gave him was so tough. And the fact that he can handle this stuff and deliver it so effortlessly is just, I mean, I'm blown away by him, honestly. I think he's fantastic. And I want him to stick around for like the entire time.
I could see him in the finale.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I mean, he can handle the choreography. I just think emotionally it was a little bit too much, and from what I saw in studio in terms of that connection, it was a little bit lacking, and he seemed just like, I need to get through this, which I can 100% understand.
Yeah, totally.
From everything that he has had to go through and traveling. I was speaking to Mindy after the show, Lindsay's mum, and she said that he was gone for he's not had sleep for 2 days, so it's like a lot that they're contending with, but great routine nonetheless. They can still get away with having a week like that because he is such a great dancer. But I do want to see that connection next week, hopefully it'll,
because his trajectory is to go to the finals. Like, it really is. And I just want him to be there.
exactly.
I can't take my eyes off of him because he's good at the way he holds his frame and his body, and you can, you know what I mean?
So strong.
Even with the hands and a few things, I was like, that could have been better, whatever. But I was watching him the entire time.
He definitely had a hard week. He probably had the least, rehearsal time than everyone else. But I think the reason why he always does so well is because he's just your average guy. That he's just at the competition. He's never seen this before. I feel like he doesn't have the pressure that other people have. Like, we got to win. We got to do this. We got to do this.
This is great for my career.
He's,
Yeah.
He's just
So
like, oh, this is cool. I get to hang out with hot chicks and do, and get paid for it.
And what a sparkle show.
It's simple.
I mean, have you talked to him at all? Like,
Yeah,
what
definitely.
if? I mean, has this been like mind blowing?
He's really like living the dream pretty much, and what he's done for America is unbelievable. He really is a hero, and he's so down to earth. He doesn't think he's a hero, and he never likes to be called a hero. And he's just, that's why he's, in Australia we say like your average Joe. I don't know if you guys say that here.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
We do
Straight
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, your average Joe. Yeah. Yep, we do. We do say
Interesting.
that here in America, Sasha.
Fun fact. But Lindsay's doing a great job. She's choreographing some amazing numbers coming from the troupe to being a pro. And she's been a pro before, and she's doing such a great job. And he's, the perfect partner for her.
They're so awesome.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
he's like a female version of Lindsay, and Lindsay's a female. Did I say that right?
I love it. Yes, we know what you
A
meant.
male version of Lindsay and a female version of
I love this couple. I'm
Yeah.
excited about
Me
this
too.
couple still through the end of the season.
Yeah.
They got a 24, right? Yeah,
24.
24.
Yeah.
Did I do my math right? Wow.
That would have been awkward.
That would be awkward. I was good at math too. Okay. Did you guys like those scores? No? Were they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought it was fair for that dance. Yeah.
Considering.
I'm just glad he got 8s was the minimum he got, because
Yeah.
if he would have gotten lower, I'd been really mad.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
I'd had to write a
Really
note.
bad.
Write a note. What accent's that? Nick and Sharna. Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this number. 1992. What were they dancing, by the way? Was that
Jazz.
Jazz?
Jazz.
I didn't know.
Jazz funk.
This is
Backstreet
literally one of my all-time favorite numbers ever on the history of this show.
Really?
That's how
Ever.
you really.
Really?
Yes,
Were
really.
you waiting for that the whole time?
Yes,
She's like, come on, let's get to Nick and
No,
Shauna.
I forgot about it until now. And I have some amazing favorites, obviously, over the years. Like, but this is up there. This, like, shot up the charts. First of all, I wasn't a diehard Backstreet Boys fan. I did not like them. I liked them, but for me, I was at a concert. I was living through Sharna. That was, like, so amazing.
Yeah, like she was living every little girl's
Oh,
dream.
come on. It
Yeah.
was so amazing. And Nick is awesome. He's been one of my favorites from the beginning, this couple. So I'm going to go to you guys because I could just gush about it all day.
I'll say this wasn't my favorite dance. Of this, I honestly, I don't think that they should have. Yeah, dun, 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 there it is. But I don't know. I was like, this. It's the same choreography they've done it for like years.
Backstreet
Like some of
Boys?
the Backstreet. I mean, I'm
had
not
to put
taking away
the-
from her choreography, because I think Sharna is like one of the most talented choreographers on the show. But for me, this, I don't know. I just wasn't like blown away from this. I don't know. It was just kind of like.
I wasn't blown
Cool.
away like it was something new and like, oh my, like,
I mean, it was
mind-blowing that way.
exciting, but I don't know. It just, to get 9s and then to give like some of the other people like lower scores than that, I was like,
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the 9s were for the concept, for the fact that it was a concert. We were taken to a concert, but in the context of Dancing with the Stars and the competition, like, it was jazz. I mean, fair enough, yeah, it can pass as jazz, but it wasn't necessarily my favorite performance from them, just because it just felt like it was what he's done.
I know,
and I
that's what
get that,
yeah.
and I understand
It
that's
was
why he's
fun.
on the show, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more partnering. Like, it seemed like they had more side by side and a few like bits together, and I'm a big fan of them. I enjoy watching them, but this didn't really work for me in terms of their connection, but I get like the whole concept, and it's like,
They needed to have
Backstreet
this
Boys.
moment.
They
They
Like,
watched a
you
different
gotta-
show than I
yeah.
did.
You gotta think about it. Backstreet Boys. That's
what
number
it
one.
is.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I knew they were going to eventually do
Backstreet
that,
Boys
you
are
know.
back. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not only were like the Backstreet Boys in the audience,
in the
like,
house.
And then NSYNC part of
we
it.
had Joey from NSYNC there.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Wow.
like a full-on concert.
We-
And I mean, I've been a fan of Backstreet Boys for a while. Like, in Australia, like, it was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, around the world, it was huge.
Massive.
And it was pretty cool to see him dance to his own song. And I mean, I liked the dance. He had a really cool groove to him, and a lot, like we say, swag.
Yeah.
And he could finish off like a few little lines, but overall, I think it was awesome. Like, just to be in the room and watch it, it was
I'm sure it was super cool.
It had to be amazing in person.
Awesome. It was like a concert.
Yeah. And how often do we have a concert like that? In performance.
You were loving it, huh?
I was screaming in front of the TV.
Did you have posters of Nick
Nope.
and Backstreet Boys in your room?
I had no posters of anybody.
What about now? How about now?
No, she does.
Just kidding. No, I never did.
No.
Although
Just kidding. She's got One Direction.
the first band that I was a fan of was Aging Me. Was New Kids on the Block.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was the first, and they were the first kind of white.
They're like the
band
pioneers
group.
for that. Whole,
Anyway,
poppy
no,
thing.
I did not have posters. All right, they got a 27.
feel like you're lying.
I
feel
totally
like
would
you're
tell you the
lying.
truth. I
feel like
swear.
you're lying.
I had pictures. No, I did not. I had pictures of gymnasts. I was a gymnast, so I always had like all these amazing gymnasts on my wall for inspiration. I didn't have the guys.
So did you just wake up and then go, gymnast, inspiration?
I didn't have boys on my wall. I swear. I was a late
don't know.
bloomer, clearly. Just for you, I should buy a poster, like hang out and take like Instagram photos
pictures by
of me and boys. Oh boy! So they got a 27. I was very happy with it. Clearly, you guys were not.
I still liked it.
no,
Still
yeah,
enjoyed
we liked
it.
it.
Like it wasn't
Yeah.
that I didn't like it, but you know,
Ooh,
just wasn't my
backpedaling
fave.
now, backpedaling.
Not at
No,
all.
I can't
Not
believe it.
at
I
all.
can't believe it. I thought you guys. Well, anyway, I loved it. Well done, Sharna. Next up, we had Carlos and Whitney doing the waltz, and he chose 20.
Beanies Waltz.
Yeah. Viennese waltz? Is that what it was? It just said waltz on the thing because I was like, what am I watching? Carlos and Whitney, they, what do you do? 2020? You guys, this is so hilarious. 2012, what are you dancing over there? I love it. He chose that year because it was within 1 week, he found faith and found his wife.
Yeah.
That's amazing story. I love that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I had a question about the Viennese waltz. Is what it was. Isn't that the one when you're meant to continually keep turning?
We need to double check that. I think I was changing into one of my.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Crazy
It didn't
outfits.
say Viennese waltz on the TV. It did say waltz.
Double check that. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure we're going to get tweets about it now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sasha.
We should check that.
So that would make a difference.
Yeah,
obviously,
sorry.
But
It's some kind of waltz. Let's leave it at that.
leave it just as a waltz. For
What did you
now.
think?
I enjoyed the concept of it, but something about the lack of the arms and that upper body, I think, was really needed in this dance to translate. Like, I felt like I went on his journey emotionally, but his body didn't match it. And it's like, I get that he's got like the how do you say that? Athleticism. Oh my God, take me to school. He does, but it didn't connect. And then there was a small little thing, I don't know if it was just a balance issue, which was kind of, I just feel like he's better than that.
We've been saying that every week a little bit.
Yeah, so
know.
I was just a little underwhelmed, unfortunately.
I just expected a lot because it seemed like this was. I saw Whitney's mom was posting about it on Instagram about like how much this dance means to him, which you could tell it did, and you could see the emotion. But I was like, where, like his arms and some of the things, like he just, I don't know. It was just disappointing. It was just really disappointing for me. And I'm scared for them because there's always like a surprise elimination or whatever, and I'm like afraid that he's had like 2 bad weeks in quotes, so I don't know. I'm nervous for them because I love Whitney so much, so we'll see.
Are you nervous for them, Sasha?
I am a little bit nervous. Unfortunately, I didn't see the dance, but I love their white outfits. I saw
Gorgeous.
that.
It was
beautiful
I saw
on
that
camera,
beautiful
yeah.
house. But I mean, I know what you mean, and in his other dances, he's very athletic, but sometimes I find that the connection between two people isn't there. That could definitely be better, and because he's so athletic and kind of muscly, he has to be careful of when he does lines to make sure his shoulders are down. Sometimes when you're quite athletic, the lines and the hands go up at the same time, so you want to kind of work on his shoulders and kind of make sure he really uses his arms are an extension of his body.
Right.
You like that?
We love that. We love that would take us to school. I would say overall the white costuming and the song and everything was very beautiful. I couldn't keep my eyes off Whitney.
I know.
That's when it's a problem.
Fun fact.
Whitney's gorgeous.
Is this another fun fact?
Holy moly. I love it. Don't call me out. It's so hilarious.
I mean, it's hard not to watch
It's hard not to watch her.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be on your game for my attention to go to you because Whitney is a bombshell.
Can we talk about this?
Yes, let's talk about it.
She just got engaged.
I know. Congratulations, Whitney.
Whitney is off the market.
Off the market. And
Boom.
smart man to do so.
Yep.
Because
Hot,
somebody's
you
gonna
gotta get it.
Got in there quick.
Seriously, because you know that somebody's coming in and swooping in. That's amazing. Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Lots of engagements and marriages.
I know.
Hopefully, you know, there's at a wedding, I could do a couple of bumpers, you know, here and there. And dress up into one of my outfits.
Pop out of the cake or something.
What would you dress up as?
many ideas.
I want you like
What would you
in
do?
a
I don't
Cupid
know, there's
costume.
just so many. You know what I'd do? I'd probably do like a reveal, maybe like put 4 or 5 underneath.
Yes.
So like each step I take, just next character, just build up.
Oh, I've got something
my
to show
God.
you. There was this commercial where they did these quick changes, like constantly. And
Yeah.
it was amazing. I have to show you that.
That's my next Instagram video.
Seriously.
Can't wait.
Really
You
working on
should.
those videos.
You should get Hayes to like.
They say laughter is the best medicine.
I like
It is.
Thank you.
It really is. You're making a lot of people laugh right now, and I'm sure they're thankful. Well, they got at 25, and I'm sorry, but I think that was a little high.
That 9, I was like,
The 9
you're
was
gonna
too
give
high.
Alec all 8s and then give him a 9 and 2 8s. I was like, no.
That was Carrie Ann, right? When
Yeah.
she gets emotional, like the 9 just comes out, I feel. Like, I just, she's more about that side of it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the technicalities necessarily mean that much unless it's a lift and then whoa.
Yeah, you're gonna lose
Forget
a
about
point.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right. Well, let's move on.
Let's.
Paula and Louis, Cha-Cha, 1989, her end of her marriage and kind of taking the reins and changing her life. Best I've seen her look, for sure, for me. I don't know about you guys. Best I've seen her look. She looked more comfortable, more relaxed. Her dress was on point.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
She looked really good.
What did you guys think?
I loved this dance. I thought it was great. The parts at the end where she kind of like messed up or whatever, I was like, whatever. I mean, with her, it's like you don't expect like a perfect polished thing, but what she delivers is actually very good, and she has really great footwork. Her legs look great. I think her upper body is great. She moves so well. Like I like the two of them, and I hope that they stick around for another week after this too.
I just want to say at the very end though of every routine with her, I always get a little uncomfortable, a little scared when she goes, for the ending,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like it's a little like,
She just goes for it. She just
Yes, she does.
wraps those legs around her and just
I thought Louis was going to fall over.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh.
It's like even if she's like late, she's gonna jump into that position, come hell or high water, and that's what she did. And it was awesome. I love her. There was only one mistake this week, so we're already making progress.
Yeah.
It's just when she does lose, it's like she loses her whole center.
Yeah.
When she does lose it, and it takes like about 4 seconds for my eyes to kind of get back. That's the only thing. It's like it is quite severe in terms of it goes from her. But when she's in it, I think, she's got a great performance quality that's really natural, and she's got some sass, like she's standing there, she's giving it, and those legs, I really just, hopefully next week she can do a routine with no mistakes, and because she's got a really good dance quality, so maybe she can do it. It'll be great. What do you think, Sash?
Look, she's great. Louis great. He's doing a great job with her, but dancing is all about having fun, and I feel like she's one of those people that when just before she's got the dance, she knows the steps, and just before she's about to dance, she psychs herself out. Like she starts thinking of the steps, and she doesn't really start to like live the dance. And halfway through, I felt like she was doing that in the dance, and then I started to think she's thinking of this. Can't even talk right now. She's thinking of the steps before they happen, and that's a problem, because if she's doing that and she forgets what's next, the mistake's going to happen right there, right then. And
No, sorry, I thought you were done. Sorry, my bad. Keep going, please.
I forgot where I was. No.
Oh God.
I think, and it's going to be really interesting because the switch up, she's so used to Louis. She relies so much on Louis, and as she should, but it's going to be really interesting to see what she's like with someone else and how she reacts.
Yeah. All I was going to add to that, sorry, was that, you know, if you start doubting yourself, you're downhill. And I love what, you know, was it Julianne screaming, say, like, I know, you know, I'm awesome. And because I've been guilty of it myself as a dancer. When you doubt yourself, you're done. You start forgetting things. You're like, you know, you get up here and it's over.
You need to show us one of your dance steps.
There's stuff online. You can see it online. You can all
Google
see
my
it
reel.
online. Yeah.
There's stuff online.
Google
Check
my
me out.
reel. I can show you dance steps. I can hold my own.
Do you not know that? I saw that little aerial you did.
Yes, I was a gymnast, but
She danced for Bette Midler, honey.
I've danced for lots of people. Katy Perry.
What? That's
Yes,
awesome.
Will.I.am, American Music Awards. I've choreographed for Katy. Like, I've done a little bit.
We definitely need a show right now.
Some dance moves. I'll be back. I'm going to be on the floor dancing for you guys. They got 18.
I was disappointed that I at least
Sorry, just change it back to the score here.
I thought they should have at least gotten a 7. At least one. I don't know. I always want her to get like a little like
I mean, it's hard. I think, you know, give her a bit of encouragement when she is working so hard.
Especially when you're giving some people 9s and 8s that maybe could have been other scores.
I know.
It seems like, you know, she actually legitimately gets upset. You know, she was like, those scores are so low, you know. So it's like, come on,
I think
guys.
people think that this show's like a lot easier than it is. And once they start, it's like 8-hour rehearsals and, you know, it's like learning a new language.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
And if you've never done 8-hour rehearsals, they're long, they're exhausting. They exhaust not only physically, but your brain. You're like fried. You know, I don't know how else to explain
Until
it.
you go home, you go to bed, you wake up, look at the gymnast photos, and then go straight back to work.
bring it full circle. I can.
Oh my, I'm not gonna live it down. That's hilarious. I love it. I love you, Sasha. Eat some Lucifer's pizza. That's our like go-to place.
I was
by the
just
way.
there actually.
Were you?
Like 2 days ago with
Oh,
Derek.
and you didn't invite me. That is our jam.
I'm sorry.
Lucifer's pizza is amazing.
It is amazing. Plug that one in there, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Jeez, send us some. Okay, Andy and Allison, Cha-Cha, and T said 2009 was his most memorable year. First of all, congratulations, Allison and Twitch.
Yeah.
Gregors, having a baby boss.
Oh
Amazing.
my gosh, it's gonna be
That's
so
pretty cool.
cute.
I know. That was very exciting. Okay. Yes, this one brought the tears for sure.
Yep.
I was crying. What an emotional story. And I don't even know. I'm just going to go to you guys on what you thought of their dance and story.
I thought the story, I mean, it just broke my heart. I mean, I wasn't expecting to hear that, you know, like days to say goodbye. It's just heartbreaking. And for him to have the bravery to talk about it the way he did and let us all in was just, you know, so amazing. So that part of it I was just like in awe of. Absolutely. To come into the dancing, I think that Alison does a great job of choreography with him, because I feel like there's something that's a little awkward. I don't know if it's his back. It doesn't seem to move. Like it's all in one or something. Like it's like there doesn't seem to be that like, I don't know how to explain it. Sash, help me out, babe.
Doesn't use his
Come on,
sides
Sash.
a lot. He
Something,
doesn't
yeah.
use
It's
his
just like
sides
it's
a lot.
all just like that, in my opinion. And she's choreographed like the side by side stuff that is quite like that, you know. But I would just like to see a bit more
Ooze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooze.
Ooze.
But apart from
What
that,
do you see, Sash, with him?
What was my name?
Sasha?
What do you think, Sasha?
Sasha?
Well, the story was insane. Like, you know, just when they showed that photo where he was sitting and his dad was talking about everything, it was crazy. But, you know, he came out strong, and that's his new song, which is amazing. Love that song.
Yeah.
Downloaded it already.
Music.
And you've always got to take it back to, like, watch him in week 1. He's a completely different dancer to now. He's growing every week. Yeah, he's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, but he's eliminating each little floor each week. So it'll be interesting to see, like, in 2 weeks what he's looking like.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and what I like about him is that he kind of has he has no shame, like, at all. Like, he's just like, I'm doing it, and if I look awkward, great, and if I don't,
He did say something funny, like, when we were sitting eating, he's like, you know, when people forget things, they have this face. Like, when he forgets things, he just goes,
I know, right?
He looks up.
He did say that with Aaron Andrews on TV like 2 weeks ago, I think. Or something. He's like, I just look up and to the left or the right. I don't know which way it was.
Yeah. But I didn't know if this was necessarily a cha-cha very much. It looked like hip-hop more, but which is fine with me.
Hey, listen,
I'm like cool with
Dancing
it.
Stars, it's
Exactly.
nowadays. If we're doing just a basic cha-cha, it'd be boring.
And that's what I like about Allison is that she's really like changing up the game in terms of like what it's becoming, and I think that she's probably like one of the main people who's kind of turned the show to like a whole new direction too.
She's very hip.
Yeah, she's
Is that what you
with
say?
She
Is that what you
She's
had
with
to
it.
say?
She's fierce.
She's with it.
Yeah.
She's
We
pregnant.
say, hip.
Isn't that
Yes, she
crazy?
is. It's amazing.
That is crazy.
I can't believe she's 4
Is that
months
like,
too.
is
That's
that
insane.
so when she's dancing, like in a couple of weeks, when they do a trio week, can she just be like just her and Andy and the baby?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
we're saying.
how they
There's
do
a
that.
trio now. Every week's going to be a trio.
Every week's a trio.
I just have to say a quote that he said, that about his mom was one of the whole reasons to be alive was to make her happy. And I just thought that was so beautiful. I had to write it down and say that again. Because
He's got such a good fervor for life, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
I
a
think that's so
great
good.
spirit and a great character, regardless.
When we I think it was last season because he came on and did
Nasty.
Oh yeah, with you, yeah.
for Honey I'm Good, and I remember we were sitting there before the number and he was like, this is so cool, like, and he talked about his mum, like she absolutely loved the show, and he she would be so proud if he if she could see him doing this now, and then next season he's in the show, so it's amazing. It
love
really
that.
is.
It is. And also, while we're on that, how amazing is it that from such a tragedy that's where his
make it
career
positive.
came from,
Seriously.
and that he went home and wrote a song, and now he's here. Like, I love that. That's just so amazing, inspirational. Like, no matter what you're going through, just keep going. Do
You never know
what I
when
mean?
it
You
can
never
turn
know
around.
when it's going to
Yep.
turn around.
I wish
So
I could
true.
sing. I wish I could sing. I can't sing.
You can't. I can't sing
I
either.
did Gangsta's Paradise at her house the other day.
I know. How was
Mark
it?
was on the guitar.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I missed that
Oh,
one.
we need a video. You have to video that stuff. Come on, Darvina. Well, they do say that some of the greatest pieces of art come from the most pain. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard that. They got a 23. So, would you fair?
Maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah.
I would have said a little bit higher, but
All right. Fair enough. And on to serious tears. Was there, you guys, did you have dry
I literally
eyes?
cried.
Absolutely
were
crying
in the
my
red
eyes out.
room,
Yeah.
and everyone was like bawling, like crying like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I cried literally from the moment the package started all the way until the end of her dance. Like, I thought it was literally one of the coolest moments I've ever seen on this show.
Bindi and Derek,
Ever.
if you guys are wondering who we're talking about, I don't know
Yes.
how you wouldn't not know, but Bindi and Derek, yeah.
I just thought it was such a fully realized piece. Like, it was so connected and just, it was weightless. It seemed like it was just this other reality that we were just kind of like lucky enough to be watching.
Witnesses,
Like,
yeah.
honestly, it was really cool.
I think Derek's really clever with the routines and the choreography, and you could tell, like, when he was creating the dance, that each step or each thing that they did had a reason and a memory to it, which was amazing. So when you watch the dance, you get goosebumps because you would realize that's what happened, and like even to the point where she was holding his finger, and
In rehearsal.
and to the point where they started, and she would it's like he's behind her, leading her, and you could read that really clearly. And I think that's what makes a real clever choreographer.
Yeah. I couldn't breathe from the moment the package started and through afterwards, several minutes. Like, just the whole number was everything that you just said. Even the package, it took my breath away with that, her memory coming back, from that. I mean, and Derek is so amazing with her.
She really is the nicest person I've ever met. She's always so positive. Like, I've never heard anything bad come out of her mouth, and she really wants to learn, and each note that Derek gives her, she applies, and it's fixed. And like when they first started, she's never danced before. Like, she's never had any training, and I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting for Derek because
Right.
some of the girls he's had have had training, and he's just turned her into what she is now. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I love I don't know if you all saw his Instagram post about how magnificent of a being and soul and the light that she radiates, and the people that are around her, and just everybody. I feel it through the TV screen. I'm not even in the same room, So I can only imagine what it's like, you know, being up close and personal with her.
Terry, her mum, is always, you know, is always at the rehearsals, and she's always sitting on the couch outside the studio, and like she sits there for hours and hours, and she's such a beautiful person, and always the same as her, always like has something nice to say, knows everyone's names, and it's great because some people don't even know your name, and they're like, "No, get out of my chair," and you're like,
okay.
all right.
They had on All Access, they had the whole family up there, and even listening to her little brother.
Yeah.
Have you heard him? I mean, I'm sure you've met him and spoken to him. It was even like it was like the twins. The way he speaks and the way, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, how old are you? You're amazing.
It must be. It must have been really hard for her brother too, because you know he was really, really young when the father passed away. So he didn't. I don't know if he has that much memory of him, and I think he lives everything through TV, like all the videos and all the photos and everything that's going on now. So it must be so hard. I mean,
when it's almost like we all, you know, we thought that was someone we knew. Do you know what I mean? And for that to be your parent, and then you know, I guess it's probably therapeutic in some way for her to share this story, but that it was the first time that she's ever, you know, really gone there, and it was just amazing to watch, and I just felt so privileged to be in that room. I felt so like my soul was enriched and grew from being in that room and watching those two make magic. It was absolutely amazing. Everything has such intent. You know, she tells you a story with her face as well as her body, everything, it all connects, and it was just beautiful to watch. I just loved the routine, and she is just such a shining light. I think it's a great cast this season. She's got people that are so inspirational, and you know, obviously with the weeks and what they've picked, we've got to really to know them. And she's just a gem of a human.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's like what you felt like with her dad. Like you felt like you knew them, and I think that's what's so cool is that we've never met her in real life, like three of us or whatever, and it's just like you honestly respond so well to her because she's so perfectly willing to allow you to see her for her true self, and I think that's just so cool.
And she's a rock chick at heart. She loves rock and roll.
I know, which is amazing.
It's amazing. You know what else is a fun fact? There was a koala named Derek Hoff.
I saw that.
Isn't that crazy? In her zoo.
What?
They named a koala.
Awesome.
Yeah, they named this new koala.
That's when you know you've made
Derek
it.
Hoff.
That's it. That's it.
You know what?
Derek,
That's so
you've
exciting.
made it. You are now a koala
Emmys,
at the Australian
It's
Zoo.
got everything.
That's amazing. I just wanted to say, like, even you could see Julianne. There was a shot where she was just like,
I mean, all three of the judges, you can see they were just
yeah, it had to be. And I was like, oh, it's a moment in studio, not even just on TV, but like
she went up to the judges and gave them hugs afterwards.
Why do you think that they didn't get all three 10s? I honestly, I was like, oh, this will be all 10s, and then
I thought
wasn't.
for sure
I was
it was
really
gonna be all
shocked
10s.
actually.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be 3 10s.
Yeah,
with 9s given out the way that they were given out, I just thought for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think that was off.
No, if the 10s had come out, I would have been well happy because I think it was totally deserving of those 10s.
A couple weeks that would have been all 10s, no doubt.
No doubt.
It.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's all that was. So 28. Well, in Jeopardy was Carlos and Witt. Did they say it was not necessarily the bottom two?
Sometimes
Are they
it's not.
always, sometimes it is and sometimes not.
I don't know if
I
they
didn't really
actually
hear
said
that,
it, yeah.
but it's usually not necessarily the bottom two. But Carlos and Whitney and Gary and Anna, and of course, they went home. And I talked to Anna today, and she said, you know, that's just the way it rolls, and, you know, expected and whatnot, and it's all good. So
yeah, I mean, she's had such a great moment with this season, like with him as her partner, so she wins overall.
Yeah,
she killed it.
Yeah.
She killed it.
She did. She definitely did.
Yeah, I think it was fantastic to see her back on the show.
Lovely to see her
I know.
back.
I was happy about that.
For sure, and I just want to say that Erin's face at the end again when Gary,
She's like, you get to
when
experience
Gary was like,
what I get to experience every week.
Stop talking, I'm not done. Oh, that was like one of my favorite moments.
Let's talk about Alfonso.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
as
Should we talk
host.
about
Yes,
Alfonso?
please.
Oh,
Thank
we
you,
do that.
Sasha.
He
Yeah.
did an amazing job. An amazing job to
1000%.
step in like that, do
Yeah.
it, and then like I'm sure the
Yeah.
feedback was amazing because he did great.
What? Yeah.
I thought he did a really good job, actually, because, that's the first time anyone other than Tom has hosted the show. And it didn't feel totally alien. I was expecting it to feel a bit like, whoa, this is a whole new show. Obviously, Tom was missed.
Yeah.
Like, I'd still miss his wit and the way he just, he's just got that effortlessness about him. But I thought still Alfonso was great. Really held it together.
Yeah, our prayers are with Tom's family,
for sure.
definitely. But yeah, he was on fire. Alfonso, he was great.
He was fantastic. He did.
That's such a big role to fill too,
Yes.
especially that's crazy.
And he was so calm, like between takes and stuff. It wasn't like, he was nervous or any. I think maybe he is part of the Dancing with the Stars family. He's done the season.
He's done the season.
He knows everyone. He knows everyone on, from the cast to the crew.
His face was amazing when I had to come out as Bruno.
Yeah.
He didn't know, so I just come out and I'm like doing this, and he's like.
Those are the moments that you love to see in studio. Fun fact, I do coach his oldest daughter in gymnastics. So, and she's quite good.
She's great, yeah.
She's so beautiful too. And she's so sweet. Yeah, I just want to say that. Well done, Alfonso.
Yeah.
No, he killed it last night. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. Well, really quick, before we sign off, any predictions of the next couple weeks that you want to, who do you think is going to,
I'm scared.
who are you worried about?
I'm nervous for Andy and Allison and Paula and Louie and also Whitney and Carlos. Yeah.
Okay. Who are you worried about, Darvina?
I would say I'm worried about Carlos and Whitney and Louis and Paula, I think. But you never know. The switch up is really going to switch it up. So
I think
we'll see what happens.
This cast, they seem to be pretty good sponges, so I feel like it's going to be good all around.
Yeah.
To like all that. So
No eliminations for 2 weeks because of the switch up.
Oh.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, what I heard was they're around for another 2 weeks as of last night.
Yeah, no one gets eliminated next week, but someone does get eliminated.
Yes,
Well,
in
in
2
a
weeks.
week.
yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Right, that's what you meant.
That's what I meant, sorry. Sorry, guys. Need some food. I mean,
Yeah. It was fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God. Thank
No,
you so much for joining us. Of course, the fans were very excited. I'm so happy it could work out. Where
Should've
can...
brought my Bruno outfit for you guys.
Oh my God. Next time you come, will you please bring an outfit?
I looked at it and I went, I'm keeping this. They're like, it's all yours.
Halloween's coming up.
Yes.
My birthday! You could dress up like that for my birthday.
That'd be
Bring
perfect.
you in the studio.
There you go. I didn't figure that out.
Where can people find you besides every Monday night on ABC?
Probably at Lucifer's Pizza.
Yes, yes, it's really good.
I'm everywhere. Duran, does that mean we have to go?
Yeah,
Music's playing?
yeah, you're gonna give us your out.
Or your Instagram.
I'm out. That's me. You can find
That's
me at
Sasha Farber.
At Sasha Farber.
Or
Yeah.
Sasha Farber 1 on Instagram
There
because
you
Sasha
go.
Farber was
Go.
taken.
I hate when that happens.
why?
But I'm at Diva Dav, so follow me on there. All right,
At
guys.
Jake DuPree on Instagram, at Jake_DuPree on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm at Suri Serano on everything. Thank you all for joining us. A special thank you to Sasha Farber for making it in. Yay! And Kristen Burt will be back with us next week. We missed you, Kristen. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.